Hey, Storm Shah, I want to start off with always by giving no praise to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Kwadash, that belongs to the apostles of Great Millstone, and honors you brothers doing the work of the Most High in truth and in sincerity. Yahweh, that's the real name of whom the world ignorantly calls God. Jehovah Yahweh, his real name is Yahweh, and the Son's true name is Yahweh Shah. And when we pray Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba meaning in, Ha meaning the, and Sham meaning name. So it's a quick one. Just out with someone and basically made a statement. Statement was, chaos reigns, right? And when he said, I was like, oh damn, shit, because that's exactly what this world is. In this world, chaos reigns, right? And chaos reigns because, the Lord has set up over the power of the earth, a wicked ruler, right? This is Job 9:24 says, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covereth the face of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? Right. So the Lord, what you call it? Lord, is the one that's in control over, who's in rulership of the earth. Okay. You have, there was a time when the Moabites ruled. There was a time, when, the Elamites ruled. Right. But right now is the time of the Edomite. Okay, so-called white people, right? They're the ones ruling this earth at the moment, right? And when you read the scriptures, they are the wicked, right? For example, you've got Malachi 1 and verse 4, whereas Edom saith, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. Thus saith Yahweh of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down. They shall call them the border of wickedness, and the people against whom Yahweh hath indignation forever. And what are the border of wickedness? Because wherever this man goes, is he pushes his philosophies, he pushes his different ways to all of these different nations. Okay, and as such, these different nations are like, yo, we don't want you here. But then, through this man and his his military power, right? He then basically forces his ideology on these people. Okay. For instance, Jeremiah 15:23 says, how is the hammer of the whole earth cut asunder and broken? How has Babylon become a desolation among the nations? Right, I'll get this because right now he is the hammer of the whole earth, primarily about with America. Okay. Goes around, you think about what America does. Yeah, America's ideology is you don't follow our rules, cool, we'll bomb the shit out of you and then make you submit. Okay, what you call, what's the name? I remember the Jackals, something Jackals. I forget what it is, but basically when he wants you to play ball, right, he'll send over his whether it might be the military or it might be his his financial wizards, if you will, that basically will come in and just mess your whole country up so that you follow rules and you follow the things the way he makes what you call it the way that he makes you want to basically makes you do what he wants you to do, right? Just like it was, trying to think of the words. But this is what this man does. However, the Lord is basically going to bring this man down because once again, the Lord is the one that controls who's in rulership of the earth. Just trying to think of how it was. Put it down. Is that what it says? Yeah, it says Psalms 75 and 7. But the Most High is the judge. He putteth down one and setteth up another. And that's it. In fact, let me read from 6. Like it's Psalm 75 and 6. For promotion cometh neither from the east, nor from the west, nor from the south. But the Most High is the judge. Putteth down one and setteth up another. Right? Because contrary to what these Christians will say, the Lord Yahweh is the supreme. He's the one that controls everything that happens on earth. Right? This concept of free will is non-existent. There is no such thing as free will. Okay, everything, for instance, that Esau is doing, all he's doing, he's playing along to Yahweh's tune, right? Because from the foundation of the earth, right, from the Lord has basically said he's gonna do X, Y, and Z, right? And he says the elect of my people ain't gonna bow down to what he is saying, and I'm gonna save them, and then I'm gonna destroy E. That's been written from the foundation, right? And then as a precept is this, is Daniel 4:17. This matter is by the decree of the watchers and the demand by the word of the holy ones, to the intent that the living may know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men, and giveth it to whomsoever he will, and setteth up over it the basest of men. And that's who we're dealing with at the moment. E is the basest of men, right? This is Job 30. I'm going to start from the top. But now they that are younger than I have me in derision, which referring to these E's, right? Spiritually, they're younger than us. Let's see, I'm younger than the Edomites, are younger than the Israelites. I mean, let me in fact, let me get the one in. I believe there's more precepts than the one in Isaiah 3:12, right? It says Isaiah 3:12, as for my people, children are their oppressors, right? It says Israel's there. That's it. Israel's the firstborn of the Most High. Exodus 4:22, right? Which says, and thou shalt say unto Pharaoh, thus saith Yahweh, Israel is my son, even my firstborn. So Israel is referred to as the firstborn, the children of Israel. So finishing off Isaiah 3:12 says, as for my people, children are their oppressors, and women rule over them. And this is part of the chaos, right? This is part of the chaos that E pushes out through the world. This idea that, men and women are somehow equal, which is just not true. Okay, the Lord is dealing with the men, right? The men of Israel. Okay, and there is a hierarchy that the Lord hath set up, right? And you can complain, oh, you're sexist, you're misogynist, you're this, that, and the other. Well, take it up with the Most High, okay? Right, and then you find out what that saying means. Your arms are too short to box with the Most High. This is 1 Corinthians 11:3. But I would have you know that the head of every man is Mashiach, Yahushua, whom the world calls ignorantly, Jesus or Christ, right? It says, and the head of the woman is the man, and the head of Yahushua is the Most High. And this is it, because ultimately you got it easy, you women, because you're answering us, you have to answer to us men. And right now we're in this flesh, so you're answering to mortal men, but our actions or whatever, we're answering to Yahweh Shem Yahushua, right? So you really got it easy. Okay, but one of the things that E wants you to do is to be rebellion, right? But that's just once again to fulfill prophecy, right? It says Jeremiah 31:22, how long will thou go about, all thy backsliding daughter? But Yahweh hath created a new thing in the earth, a woman shall compass a man. And you've seen that, right? In this world, you might go to work, right? Your boss might be a lady or whatever, and you got to take, she might be like, why are you late? She's chastising you, right? But here times scripture says, speaks about basically woman having authority over a man. That is chaos. That's madness, right? That is madness. Okay, you think about in certain kingdoms past, for instance, what was it with Esther? She was scared to go into the king's palace because you couldn't just turn up, in the king's palace. You couldn't just, especially, there was order back in the day, right? But what does Esau want? Esau wants disorder, right? Because he likes confusion, right? He likes division. He likes, this chaos world that he's, trying to set up, right? Because this is the thing. He thinks that he's trying to set it up, but really, right, he's just doing the bidding of the Most High. This is Proverbs 21:1. It says, the king's heart is in the hand of Yahweh. As the rivers of water, he turneth it whithersoever he will. Right, so he thinks he's doing things of his own accord, but he's just following the Most High as well. You read, I believe it was Romans 9. Who hath resisted his will? Right, none of us have. Why? Because we are subject to Yahweh, and that's it. Right, so we can close that. So we finished this as we started it. So it says Isaiah 3:12, as for my people, children are their oppressors. Once again, Exodus 4:22, Israel's the firstborn, right? It says, and women rule over them. O my people, they which lead thee cause thee to err and destroy the way of thy paths, right? And Israel is destroyed, right? But that's why the Lord has an elect. So back in Job 30:1, right, the base, in reference to the base of men. But now they that are younger than I have me in derision, whose fathers are old of disdain to set with the dogs of my flock. Now why? right? Because he's got no limits, man. This is Habakkuk 2 and verse 4, which the statements in it says, behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him. And this is man, right? He actually and the thing is, I remember just seeing, what you call it, something, and then basically he sells dildos. It's like it to get graphic, but he sells dildos to women that are in the shape of dogs' penises, in the shape of horse penises, and things like that. Right? This is what is acceptable in this man's society, right? And then you'll have these women. They'll create a content for people to view online. Of them doing things with these horse and dog. It's just nasty what's going on in this world, man. Right? But why? Because the person that's in rulership, his soul is not upright. Hasn't got an upright soul. Right? It says, but the just shall live by his faith. Right, now that's talking about, that is the first bit's referring to and the last bit is referring to the elect of Israel. Okay, the just shall live by the faith of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. Right, so, and that's what it means that I would have disdained to have sat with the dogs of my flock. Right, yea, with the two, she's like a yea, where too might the strength of their hands profit me, in whom old age was perished. For want and famine they were solitary, fleeing into the wilderness in former time, desolate and waste. And it's the thing, he doesn't like this history. He doesn't want the world to know that he was in in straits, in a place of difficulty. Right? He wants the world to believe, right, as part of his witchcraft. He wants the world to believe that he's always had it great, but this isn't true. Right, these Edomites were through. I don't mean to rhyme, but yeah, these things happen from time to time. Right, it says they were driven forth from among men. Right, they cried after them as after a thief, to dwell on the cliffs of the valleys, right, in the caves of the earth and in the rocks. Now, who's this referring to? Right, Caucasians. Right, you so-called Caucasians, which they're Edomites. Now, don't get us wrong. Right, you have our people mingled amongst these Edomites. Right, they'll look, talk, sound, maybe sometimes even act like these Edomites. But then when things get peeled back, when a chance for that individual spirit to come out arises, you'll be just there like, damn, that's an Israelite, man. Okay, so among the bushes they brayed on the braying. That's what it is, right? It says under the nettles they were gathered together. They were children of fools, yea, children of base men. They were viler than the earth, and that's these Edomites, man. Don't let them fool you, right? Because this thing, they're pushing this doctrine of chaos. However, ultimately, they're just doing the will of the Most High. Okay, so I'll read Daniel 4:17 again. It says, this matters by the decree of the watchers and the demand by the word of the holy ones, to the intent that the living may know that the Most High Yahweh ruleth in the kingdom of men, that giveth it to whomsoever he will, and setteth up over it the basis of men. Right, and that's your current ruler today. Right, but he's about to get taken down, because the Lord is about all. You read 1 Corinthians 14:33 says, the Most High is not the author of confusion. Okay, the Lord likes just balance. Where Scripture says a just balance is His delight. Okay, so this is Habakkuk 2:15, right? It says, woe unto him that giveth his neighbor drink. Now this is talking about philosophies, right? And these philosophies that he puts out, they're philosophies of confusion, of chaos. Okay, the philosophies of chaos, and that's it. Like, in the environment the Lord has me working, I work with a lot of these office bros, whatever, what have you, and I hear them talk, and you just you just bugged out. Why are they bugged out? Because they have drunk of the wine that he has given them, right? This is Isaiah 29, I believe. Isaiah 29:9, stir yourselves and wonder, cry ye out and cry. They are drunken, but not with wine. They stagger, but not with strong drink. Right now, this precept, proves that, sometimes when the scripture's talking about wine and strong drinks, actually, referring to philosophies. Okay, you people get drunk. They're not thinking straight. Why? Why? Because they're intoxicated. Right now, one can be intoxicated by way of alcohol or by way of philosophies, right? When you can't see clearly, your eyes are open, but you can't see clearly because we'll say because you're yacked, because you're drunk, right? But in that case, we're talking about, drunk of alcohol. But these people, their eyes can't see. One reason why they can't see is because they're drunk with the philosophies that he has given them, right? Right, and it said this precept here is just going and proving that. Okay, that when sometimes talking about drinks, it's actually referring to philosophies, right? So carrying on says that puttest thy bottle to him and makes him drunken also, that thou mayest look on their nakedness. Right. Once again, this is very much part of the chaos that he pushes out to rain, because once again you got that saying, right? Sun Shu, right? I forgot how you spell that. Is it Xiu? Let me get it real quick. Yeah, Sun Shu, right? Suntzu, right? One of the sayings that he has in this book is, if your enemy is united, divide them, right? So that's why he pushes the things that he does, so that he can control the people. Okay. What was I gonna get? I was gonna get something there. So we just read that. This is yeah, that's it. Right. This is Isaiah 19:14, right? It says the Yahweh hath mingled a perverse spirit in the midst thereof, and they have caused Egypt to earn every work thereof, as a drunken man staggereth in his vomit, right? And the Lord has set up this devil, and he's been pushing out perverse ideologies throughout the whole world. That's why everyone, you have a, you conversate with, people, especially in like metropolitan areas, they're bugged the hell out, right? And ultimately, if you haven't got your Hashem Yashra, you're bugged out anyway. Okay, and that's it. So yeah, we read that, right? So this is Malachi 1. I don't think we finished this, but also I'll read it. This is verse 4. Whereas Edom saith, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. Thus saith Yahweh of hosts, they shall build, but I'll throw down. Right, so ultimately, you got that saying from Apocalypse: everything they build will fall, and from the ashes of their world we will build a better one. And that is a true saying. The apostles speak constantly about how these devils take inspiration from the scriptures and they make films, and it is very much he has built, but the Lord's going to throw down, man. This society, from brick and mortar to philosophy, the Lord is going to take it down, because the philosophies that this man pushes, the ideologies of chaos that this man pushes, is all going to be taken down, right? Scriptures talk about all the works therein, shall be dissolved, right? All the works, all the symbols of witchcraft, all the places of witchcraft, all of these different things of wickedness that this man has set up shall be cast down. Okay, it says they shall build, but I'll throw it down. They shall call them the border of wickedness, because everywhere they go, they're gonna push out wickedness. Okay, it says, and the people against whom Yahweh hath indignation forever. So I do believe we did finish it last time, but this is it, right? These Edomites, they ain't gonna last, right? These are the one group, the one nation that is going to be utterly done away with. This is Obadiah 1:18, and the house of Jacob shall be a fire, and the house of Joseph a flame. The house of Esau for stubble, and they shall kindle in them and devour them, and there shall not be any remaining of the house of Esau, right? For Yahweh hath spoken it. Right, so all Esau is going to be destroyed. All of these Edomites are 1,000 years of hardcore bondage, and let me not use a nice word of hardcore slavery, right? In the kingdom of Israel, is after 1,000 years hardcore slavery, these Edomites all going to be done away with. Now, what will happen, to their spirit after the fact, we can speculate, right? One of the things that I've heard the apostle say is, their spirits, go into these heathen nations, whatever, or have you get mingled amongst these heathen nations. We'll find out ultimately in the kingdom. But the main thing is there will be no more a house of Esau, right? So what does that also mean? That also means we're going to be able to identify and find every single last Edomite, which is what Esau's trying to do with Jacob, right? With the house of Israel. But guess what? Right? All of the things that he's trying to do carnally, the Lord's just gonna give it to us. Right? You wanna know where someone is, the Lord's just gonna give that to us. On the other hand, he's trying to put devices in you so that he can try and find you, but that ain't gonna happen. Right, to the elect. Okay? And he's not gonna be able to fulfill his enterprise. Right? And so I'll read Job 9:24 and close it up. It says, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covereth the face of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? Right, so the Lord has given the rulership of this earth to this devil, right? And he covereth the face of the judges thereof, which goes into iconoclasm, right? And which iconoclasm is basically replacing the ancient images with new images that look like E, right? And the number one person that he did this to was Yahweh Shai, right? Whom the world English calls Jesus, right? Because whenever you hear, you see that Hollywood, picture, right, of Jesus, so as a leprous individual with long stringy hair, when the scriptures describe clearly how our Lord looks. Okay. So as always, Lord's word, I was edifying. Till next time we say shalom.